We popped off.
All right, make sure everything.
Yeah, no, it was wild, man, because it was 80, he had a string of 80 some degrees out here. I was like, all right, she here, but then all of a sudden she want to procrastinate, play games. Like the spring thing, like it's crazy. Like we had a
Hmm.
freeze warning, man. Like, come on.
A freeze
We,
warning?
we almost in May, Freeze warning. Freeze warning. So yeah, you know what it is. Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. In the building. Word is bond, right? For those that
There you
don't
go.
know, my name is Christian Lockhart. For those that do know, welcome back. Got my main man Troy Sneed in the building, out in
You.
sunny Arizona, while we're here in chilly Pennsylvania.
Yeah, man, we ain't dealing with that nonsense, that freeze warning stuff.
Oh, what's up? You got the lapel mic popping off? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you got a nice little Digi mic, June. Just trying to see
Okay,
where I can put it on here.
2026. I see you.
I'm trying to see where I can put it on here and make sure, you know what I mean? You
Oh, I
hear
got
me?
my mic. Can you hear
Yeah, you
me
sound
clear?
good.
I
Yeah,
have my mic turned away from me.
yeah, I hear you now. How about me? I sound clear?
Yeah, you straight, yo.
All
You
right.
straight.
So, what you working on, brother?
Working on keeping my hands warm, making sure they ain't ashy, you know what I mean? But I tell you what, man, it's been a beautiful week, man. This whole progression, this whole operate on lock progression has been beautiful, keeping me
Hmm.
busy, keeping me grounded. But what I'm working on is this week, I started my blogs, you
That's
know.
cool.
I'm a thought leader in this space as using thinking as an asset. I'm pushing that envelope now, right?
Thinking as an
So yeah, the
asset.
blogs
Ooh, I
have
like
been
that.
it's been well received, man. People are really clicking in and reading in on that stuff, man, and it's beautiful. More book sales have come off of it. Got my
Thinking
first
as an
international book
asset.
sale this week, which was pretty cool. So Germany, we coming, we're coming. Any other countries that want to get down, operateonlock.com. Order that book. Let's get going, man.
Something you just said, brother, that really struck me right in the
What's that?
kisser. I don't even know if you realize you said it because you do that a lot. I'm not sure if this is part of your marketing, but thinking as an asset. That's good.
That's what I deliver, man. Thinking is an asset. See, that's the
Yeah.
skill, that's the asset that people don't understand if they have it or not.
Hmm.
Right? They just take it for granted like it's utilities. You know what I mean? But if they're not working on building that thinking as an asset, today, as a matter of fact, today's blog, and just the beautiful thing is, and I know you know this already, but for the audience, the name of the blog series is called Unlocked Thoughts, right?
Mm.
So today's thought was about, around the notion of AI is going to make people irrelevant. And there are
Mm.
people who feel that way, right?
You
So the whole
do.
point is stay relevant, right?
Hmm.
Grow that asset. Understand. Matter of fact, first off, understand how you utilize that asset. And then you can understand how to really make that asset grow, right?
Hmm.
So thinking is an asset. That's what I am as a coach, right? I make sure you understand how to think at a level that's required of you to achieve what you think you can achieve.
Hmm. Wow. It reminds me of back in the day, the what was it? The Negro College Fund. A
Yeah,
mind is
yeah.
a terrible thing to waste.
Mind is a terrible thing to waste, man. It
Yeah,
is.
it
You think
is.
about that,
It's the
man.
worst thing to waste, isn't it?
It's the worst thing to waste, right? And I'll tell you what's interesting. There's so much off of that, right? Sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages from my meeting earlier this morning. Sorry about that. But yeah, man, we talk about
Morning,
waste,
Derek.
but we don't understand. If we don't understand it, then we don't know we're wasting it, right?
Hmm.
Again, that's why if we use it as a commodity, it's a commodity, it comes and goes. That's the problem. That's how we treat thinking. That's why we got to grow that asset.
So, Derek, just to catch you up, I asked Christian, what's he working on? And it led to him saying something that struck me. Uh, it really resonated with me. He said, using, thinking as an asset, right? So, how do you feel about that phrase, thinking as an asset?
So when I think of thinking as an asset, I go back to Money Camp. So an old nonprofit that I used to oversee as the executive director. But Money Camp was partnered with uh, Mindset of a Champion, right? So, but we didn't realize at the time he was building an asset to teach people to think, right? So when you say all of that, the first thing that comes to mind is Mindset of a Champion and the program that Dre Powell, Chaz Dre put together. But and then now with Christian and Tony Robbins and all these other platforms, I really, it is an asset that you could build your company around, right? Um, so that's my response to that. Hopefully, I answered the question.
Okay, okay. So Derek, what you working on, brother?
What you working on,
So,
D?
what you said? Hold on, let me do that audio check, bro. Y'all can hear a little better.
You're real fuzzy this morning. Is it just me?
No, he's fuzzy a little bit. We asked what you working on, brother. Mhm.
Hold on, let's do the audio and video check real quick. Check me out. Make sure we good real quick.
We live, brother. We live.
We live, man. So go
Okay.
ahead and talk. We good.
Oh, so me, personally, what I've been working on this week is just coming up with offerings that are really remedial based, simple, so that they can kind of fund my vision for what I need, what I have planned. So this week, what I've been working on is that. And in addition to that, uh, I've been working with organizing volunteers for another organization I'm involved with, um, and just getting their structures for their volunteers and where they need those. So those are two things I've been working on this week. Also, the biggest thing I've been working on is just building my library of content for my social media platform. So behind the scenes, I'm working on building my library so that I can roll out my social media the way I want and plan. So my content is growing now, but it's only visible to me. So that's no good. I understand that, but I do have a vision for what I'm doing, and it's just really about building that, a good library first, and then just running the play based off of the content I have. So those are kind of three things I was working on. Then I'm also doing a couple other things um, related to what I currently do at college now, and just working with my current students because now all my current students are looking for really robust summer opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether are they going to go, go to Harvard and stay on campus, and if they are going to go to Harvard, are they going to work directly with Harvard, or are they going to use some of the other summer programs in relationship to that? Um, so that's been a big part of what I'm doing right now. Just really working with my current students and making sure they're set up for summer and then early college. Another big thing I've had maybe 4 or 5 students this week. They're picking their classes for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then just really going around with their counselors, overcoming obstacles and advocating for them so that they can, get early college classes,
Mm-hmm.
and also just really get a presentation on the differences between AP, early college, concurrent enrollment, and all the different platform that particular school district promotes and allows at their schools. So that's kind of where
Mm-hmm.
I've been running through all week. Just want to make sure I ain't forgetting that. Uh,
That's a lot, brother.
no, but I've been busy, but I still feel like I could be doing a little bit more. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on. Um,
Okay, okay, okay.
Detroit.
That's what's up.
and
Something you said about getting your content library. Um, that's something that Christian uh, he might have heard Myron say, or maybe his own thing. He said, "That's your psalms. Those are your psalms, and
Oh,
your
okay.
proverbs. You got to have, King Solomon had his proverbs, David had his psalms. So
Oh, really?
you got to. That's what our content is nowadays.
Oh, okay. So, well, I'm putting my songs together. I'm putting it
There you
together.
go. There you go.
And
Hey, Troy, though, real quick, what you working on?
What I'm working on. So tonight I'm going live in my group Dialysis Disciples, as you know. Today we're talking about why you always sick, you know, and it's something that just tweak the mindset of, you're on dialysis, and I heard someone say if you have 99, you can have 99 problems, but if you have a kidney disease, you have one problem, right? But a lot of the people I work with, they have all these other ancillary problems, right? And tonight we're going to talk about why is that? Like, and basically it's all going to boil down to, like we always say, alignment. Once you start walking with the Father and walking in the purpose that He called you to do, all of those little like bugs and little, I got a cold and my foot hurt and all that dumb stuff doesn't even really affect you anymore because you're focused. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I was able to get our live streaming set up for the church, so our church B community here in Maricopa will be able to stream live on our app from our app, and I'm getting ready for my masterclass. My dialysis reset masterclass will be Sunday, May the 3rd, and we just talk about ways to reset your journey so that you're not struggling. And at the end of the master class, I have an offer for them. I have an offer to sit down, get on a call, and see what personal coaching would look like for them. So that's what I'm working on. I do have a doctor's appointment today at 12:30. From an old dialysis graft. I have this wound that won't heal. So I'm gonna go talk to somebody about that. And again, this is what I teach all my people. You got to take care of yourself. You can't let nothing go under the wayside, especially when you're on this dialysis journey and in your body and your immune system is compromised somewhat. So that's what I'm working on, fellas. And I'm looking forward to getting this meeting up on YouTube and reaching the people we need to reach.
That's what's up. That's
that's
what's up.
incredible.
Got some other stuff, man, too. So it was interesting today. I go to this Wednesday thing every day with a bunch of entrepreneurs in the building. But
Hmm.
today was me and about two, three, four other brothers. We got together afterwards. Really good conversation, right? We're working on building something, understanding how to refer each other business, right? And how to really refer people to other people who have what they may need. You know what I mean? And then one of us is an attorney, IP attorney, and he's got the ear of a local counsel that he's going
Hmm.
to present something, regarding, the five of us in this group to be findable by all the people that, pour into that group in particular, right? So that's going to be cool. And then, on the basketball front, sports IQ front, I have a meeting right after this, beyond talk about a collaboration with me and somebody else that's heavy in the sports world, right? So
So
we gonna keep, every extension of me, I continue to move forward with, right? So I got my two business extensions, Sports IQ and Operate Unlocked, and it is what it is, right? They're all extensions of Christian Lockhart, and that's the beautiful part. Trying to give my all to serve these people, man.
you're building your brand.
That's
You want to
it,
have a
man.
brand that says Christian serves, right?
I gotta tell you, man, the blog thing is beautiful. It's
It's
beautiful,
a way to
man.
express yourself too, right?
It
But
is.
what
It
thing?
is.
Hold up, I missed some. What you say? The what thing is beautiful?
Blog.
Oh, the blog. Oh, yeah, yeah, that was nice.
I've put them out every day this week. I'm gonna keep that going until
What
I
kind
feel
of
like,
feedback have you? Sorry,
what's that?
sorry to cut you off. What kind of feedback have you been getting from the blog?
Positive, man. People have reached out, um, have sent me messages. But the resounding theme in the message is these your posts have really been resonating with me, right? Because my goal is to talk about things that everybody's thinking about, You know what I mean? Or has thought about at some level that really, like the first one, just again, it's a but. Go, I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Go to operateunlock.com and read the blogs. I'm not gonna regurgitate. I need you to read for yourself. It's not a long read each one of them, but it's beneficial. But the big thing is they're resonating with them. Like I said, you guys know, but like I said earlier, if Derek wasn't on, the book sales have gone up since the blog because people are like, okay, I got to get some more of this, right? I got to get some more of this game here because I'm not trying to get left behind, and I also I need to know where I'm at, right? Because you want to know where your starting point is too. That's I've always talked about that. You don't know where you're going unless you know where you are, right? So that starting point, people are starting to recognize I need to know my starting point. You know,
Mm,
we can keep going.
mm.
Without that starting point, you just run around in the wind. You're like a flag in the wind, man.
Talk about that a little bit, Christian. Without giving away all the secrets from the book, what's the? It's interesting. What does someone have to start to recognize their starting point?
What does someone have to what? Say it again, Troy.
It's a funny question. It's an odd question. Where does someone have to start in order to recognize their starting point? I guess what's the pre-start?
What's the pre-start? Pre-start is understand this first thing. I don't know where I'm at.
Hmm.
Start there, right? Because let's go back to this whole goal situation. Everybody says write their goals down, right? That means they have a preconceived notion of what it takes to achieve it. That's part of the problem, right? Just so you can start with it, but don't think you know the answer. That's part of our problem. So I think the first thing is recognizing I don't know the answer. Let me find out. And that's just diving in. And this is where you talk to people like you, me, Derek, right? It's about asking questions to make you think about some things. Because here's the part. The first, and this goes to what I always talk about. You guys know this. Everybody's a genius. There are answers that only you know. Therefore, you're a genius, right? So embrace that. So first of all, realize you don't know, but then embrace the fact that I'm a genius. So I know some things that nobody else knows. So okay, so now the starting point is bring that out of yourself. That's the starting point. And how do you do that? You really dive into some things. You go deeper into your question set. There was this thing what we call the five whys, right? Why? Give an answer. Yeah, but why? Give an answer. But why? Till you finally get to the real reason, the real objective, right? And so then, and that's why that why is so important, right? Because then you get down to the real why. Then what do we always talk about? The what follows the why, right? People stop doing things because the things that they're working on don't resonate with the why they're doing it.
Oh,
That's
that's
why we
so good.
stop. That's why we
And
stop. You know what I
and
mean?
that reminds me of something I learned too early in business is, Simon Sinek has the book, you have it up there, Start with Why, right? And from the early age, people ask us, what do you want to be? What do you want to do when you grow up? And that's the wrong question. The question is, what's your why, right? Because you can do a what until you're blue in the face, and it's not going to get you anywhere if it's not aligned with why you're doing it. So I believe that's very important too. A couple episodes we talked about finding your purpose and understanding your why. So I guess that's probably one of the first presets or pre-starts to the start. And something else you mentioned too is you mentioned identity, right? You didn't use those words, but that's exactly what it is. Like if you don't know who you are and why you want to achieve things, then the what is doesn't even matter, right?
So get into the deep dive, right? That's the starting point. Get into the deep dive of self, right? That's the pre-start, right? That's the rev your engines. You know what I mean? That's the rev
Identity.
your
And
engines part.
that's the first thing I work with my people with is
Huh?
identity. A lot of people that I work with, they think that they're a dialysis patient going through life. And I say, no. First and foremost, you're a child of God who happens to be on dialysis and you have an assignment. So the first thing you need to do is shift the identity before you start doing any outer work. What say you, Derek? You've been quiet. You just observing, listening.
I it's hard as a my starting point with people is always get a mentor or coach.
Mm-hmm.
Get hire Kristen Locke or hire Troy Sneed, right? And then just go through their process, whatever it is. Hire Tony Robbins, hire Myra Golden. You got to hire people You got to care enough to seek out help
Mhm.
You got to
and be
care enough
willing
to
to be
seek out
coached.
help. Sorry, Derek, I had
Mhm.
to repeat that because I
You
love that.
really, and you really got to say, okay, I got weaknesses. Okay. If your spouse ain't going to help you, which most people thought that was the plan, that ain't the play. You got to seek out, you got to seek out individual help and say, hey, I'm weak in this area. If you don't know how to get your kids to a good college, seek out help. Reach out to me. You know, you really feel like you're struggling in life and you don't understand why you keep failing or right, help them get on track, but they got to seek out help. So that's my starting point. Seek out help and don't think you know everything. Stay coachable. You know, you got
Yeah.
to stay coachable. I don't
Something
believe you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You got to be coachable or you just going to fade out. So that would
something
be my message. Stay coachable.
something that Napoleon Hill said was
Excuse me.
a enemy half so enemy half whipped, meaning like knowing is half the battle. That's something you have always heard, right? So once you have awareness, that you can't get to transformation until you have awareness of the need. And I believe that's part of Christian's five drivers that he talks about. Awareness. Awareness leads to transformation. You can't fix anything until you're aware of the fact that you have that weakness.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you. I'm not gonna claim the awareness. I'm gonna give that to Myron for his six levels of transformation. Awareness was his first one, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. I do have my five drivers of transformation. He's got his six phases. He's got his six levels that you go through. I think is how he kind of
Mhm.
frames it, right? But awareness is definitely that, right? There's no question. So of course, I got it written down. That's how I know, right? It's on my whiteboard because we follow what some of the things that he definitely puts out there. So absolutely, awareness is part of the game. You know what I mean? But it's Derek, that was dope. I'm gonna steal something you just said though. I repeated it earlier, but I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that.
Hey guys, something I neglected to mention when you asked what I was working on, and I believe Christian, you have a similar um, type of product. Is I'm working on my gifted tone. I haven't come up with the phraseology for it, but I want to dip my toes in this AI world too. And basically, it's going to be. I believe Derek, you mentioned your brother Dre, and that's a friend of the channel, guys. And you can look him up, Chaz Dre on Instagram. And he also has something that's been very popularized coming up is your digital twin, right? So um, we're going to create something that has all the knowledge of a gifted tome, the book, all the live videos, all the things that the spirit gave me to download, I mean to upload out into the world and to give dialysis patients, and just be able to come on it just like you do with any other AI and converse with it. But the answers are going to be like they're coming from me, right? And it's going to be the book and all the YouTube and all the things I'll put in there. It's also going to be that will be part of the Gifted Tone companion app. For those of you who who are aware, we have a book called A Gifted Tome, and I should have it right next to me, right? But the book is a 40-day fast, and it helps dialysis patients get through this journey, right? And we're going to make a companion app so they can journal and do all those types of things, ask questions of the digital twin. So I'm looking forward to that product coming out and helping people as well.
Nice. The prototype you
Thanks.
sent us was dope.
Say that again, Christian.
I said that prototype you sent me and Derek before was dope for
Yeah,
that
yeah,
app.
thank you, thank you. Yeah,
That
we
was pretty
working on,
dope.
we working on. I want to be in the league with Christian and his blueprint to achieve and so, those types of things. So the audience, hey, we want to know the people you're talking to or listening to right now. We're in the game, right?
In the
We're
game,
always we're
baby.
always lifting. We always try and find better ways and futuristic and innovative ways to serve you. That's why we're here. God has called us to serve you. He called everyone on this planet to serve others. If not, He would have put you here by yourself, right? So the goal here is to find your person, your people that you are called to serve, and just start serving them at the highest level possible. And that's when God is going to take you to where you belong, where you belong.
And I'm gonna piggyback off what you're saying, man, because that that means we got to relate to you, right? Because I'm big on meeting people where they are. To me that's important, right? So I want to be able to connect with you, and I know a lot of times, and I'm gonna keep my personality in it, right? I like to have fun. I'm also a deep thinker, but I'm also very, very versed in technical side of things. Having been in the industrial gas world for over 20 years, from a professional corporate level stuff. But I tell you what, man, I want people to be able to understand what I'm saying without them having to figure out without what does Myron say, the techno psycho babble, craziness. I can speak at a
Yeah,
certain level, but what I really want to do is speak at a level that resonates with you. That's important, right? Because me, my thing is I like the aha moment, right? That's that winning feeling. So I like when people get that, oh, yeah, that's what we're looking for. Everybody's looking for that, right? But my goal is to get you to get to that point as many times as possible. And I know with Troy's audience, same thing, right? Getting those dialysis patients, I know what it's like, right? Because me and Troy have been friends for a very long time, and I know his program, so I know he's getting you to that aha moment, and I know it's kind of pulling teeth a lot of times too, Troy. And Derek, you and I know each other forever, and you in the educational world, the educational system has been around so long and has done things a certain way that is just like anything else. It's brainwashed people to believe certain things, and that you're trying to get everybody to that aha moment when it comes to that space.
yeah.
Derek, you're muted. You're muted, D. You're muted.
No, I love what you're saying. And for me, I want people that's listening. Look, just get help. Whatever you got going on, there's people that are experts at whatever you're going through. So reach out and help. I'll reach out for help, especially when it comes to your children and where they go off to college and why they're going to whatever college and what's the game. Hire you need for someone in your area, reach out to me. Um, but the real deal is you gotta care
Hey, Derek,
enough
you
to get
breaking up a
help.
lot, brother.
Just care enough to get help. I know everyone loves their children. They want the best. Y'all work. I don't understand. Troy, can
You,
you hear me good?
yeah, you breaking up a
Breaking up,
lot,
man.
brother. Breaking up a lot, brother. But well, I think we got the gist of what you're saying, and that's been your message all episode is like don't sit in discomfort when there's ways to get help, right? And
Mm.
people that can help you. And like I just mentioned, everybody on this planet was meant to help someone. So if you're sitting around without getting that help, you're not operating in the way that God designed this thing to be operated. And so I believe that's Derek's message, whether he's in and out or not. It's clear he's saying that if you need help, go get it. Like swallow your pride, and that was me. I'm number one on that list. I went a long time not getting help and seeking help because of my pride, and that's one of the strongest weapons of the enemy is make you think you can do everything on your own, right? Because if you're on your own and as you isolated, he can feed you all his demonic ideas and take you down the path that he wants to take you down. But as soon as you seek wise counsel and you speak to someone who knows, now they can pull you out of that and they can start unlocking you. And that's what coaches are meant to do, unlock you, create a spot, a place where you can thrive rather than merely survive. So thanks, Derek, for letting people know, man, you need help, and all three of us are available for help. All of our contact information is in the bottom of this video, and if you resonate with any one of us and you want to reach out, do so. But don't sit in it when there's help available.
No doubt. And we listen. It ain't like we sit here at the top, man. We talk to people all the time because that's important. Connection is important, right? So we get that. I get game from Troy. I get game from Derek. I get game from a few other folks that I deal with. Same with Troy. Same with Derek. You know what I mean? Iron sharpens iron. Got to keep that iron sharp. That's it. You know. But yeah, man, nah, that's what's up. But I tell you what, man, it's I'm trying to catch up to you, Troy, because Troy in this group, Troy's the king of content. You know,
Yes, he is. Yeah,
Troy's the
yeah,
king of
definitely,
content in this group right here. So my
definitely.
blog space, is me trying to catch up. You know what I mean with him.
Yeah, yeah, and again, it's all spirit led, guys. It's all spirit led, and it's all part of the journey. You know what I mean? And it's because I got help. I spoke to someone. I have a coach, and they guided me down this path, and I'm just listening. And a lot of times when we do ask for the help, and we get the help, and they say something to us that that sounds counterintuitive, we don't want to do it. But think about it this way, guys. If you knew what to do, you'd already be doing it, right?
Done
So when
deal.
someone who's one chapter ahead says do this, and your mind is like, that don't sound right. Of course it ain't gonna sound right. Because if it sounded right, you've been already doing it. So when you open up your eyes and you decide, hey, I'm gonna get some coaching, the first thing to do is to be coachable. You have to say, okay, I'm going to listen to this person. This person is where I'm at. When they're here, I'm here. I want to get here. If they tell me to do something, I can't be prideful and say, nah, that ain't going to work. It obviously works because they're there, right? So when you reach out for the help, be coachable, listen, and move expediently. And I'm gonna say one last thing. Something I've learned too about the best people who learn the quickest, their speed of implementation is absolutely fast. It's not like, okay, I want you to do X, Y,
Once
Z,
again,
and they go, well, I don't
say
know
it again,
because
George.
they
Say
just
it
go.
again.
The speed of implementation. When you get to coaching, the faster you implement it, the faster you change. You don't think about it. You don't think, well, I wonder if that's going to work. Right? My best clients are the ones who have the highest speed of implementation. You learn something, you do it. And that's the way God designed it. When he gives you instruction and you have to be obedient, speed of implementation, not half. I'll think about it. I heard a great quote. Um, Obedience is not obedience if you change God's words to fit your comfort. Chew on that one, guys.
No. Hey, from a mentor perspective, I love when a family we're aligned and they do exactly what I coach them and tell them to do. Oh, and then you talk to them a week later, a month later, or whatever the process is, and they've accomplished everything you set out because they listened and took the coaching. That's a great feeling.
That's the aha
That's a
moment
great
Christian
feeling.
talks about.
Yeah, that's for me. That's my aha when my clients listen and take my coaching. That's
Mhm.
aha. Yes. Yeah. So I like that feeling. But
Mhm.
all right, guys, we can wrap up today. That's the show for today.
It's a good talk.
And
Good talk.
that was a real good talk. Troy, man, thanks for the words. And I, as your friend, I appreciate how strong you are dealing with your situation. And keep going and
Glory to God.
fighting, bro.
All
Kristen,
glory.
man, thanks for unlocking the world. International salesman of the book sale guru. Keep that up, man, because everyone needs to read your book. That's awesome. And everyone, make sure you check me out. I look forward to working with all your families that reach out to me, and we can help your kids come up with an individualized education plan that gets them to where you want them to be. So make sure you reach out to me. I look forward to seeing everybody soon.
Remember, all our links and contact information is the bottom of the description of the video, guys.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Appreciate you, man. Got to hop on the next one.
Produce.